Hi, you guys. It's Hot Talk from Tamara and Kendra.
Hi, guys.
So, you guys, we have an important topic. You know, everyone deals with bloat at a certain time or not. It might be from eating too much popcorn.
Yes.
I'm just going to divulge a little truth.
You weren't supposed to say anything. I'm just kidding.
And for me, it tends to be like a champagne or something that puts me over. But I do know that working with clients through so many years for health and beauty, that bloat is a big issue for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
And nobody wants to talk about it either.
Right.
So
right.
we will.
Like,
We'll talk about it for you guys.
Exactly. And I think they get more frustrated not understanding where it came from. So it can be a deterioration process, but it also can be like a certain thing that can trigger you. And so I always say, like, the body's just talking to you. It's just information. So just try to learn to read what it's trying to tell you, and try not to let that frustration set in, because that's not going to do you any good. So let's first start with what can cause things. What can cause bloat? So, like I said, immediate deterioration. A deterioration. So that would be like killing off your good bacteria over the time from eating too many sugars or having too much alcohol or too many trans fats.
So a lot of refined food. So because a lot of refined food, processed foods, has everything that you were just talking about.
Yep.
The sugar, all that stuff. So staying as close to the earth as possible.
I like that. Close to the earth.
Yeah, close to the earth as possible.
And then what's that one thing that the doctors tell us to take to help us get better, and it kills our gut bacteria?
Oh, antibiotics.
Antibiotics. So just if you have to go to them, you have to, right? We have to pick and choose our battles, but just be informed, like, how to restore that for you. And also our kids. We think, we don't even think about what's going on for our kids, and we put them on it more often than what adults will go on. So you need to actually educate yourself on how to restore it for you and your kids. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so this is kind of separate, and I don't remember the video that I watched on this, but gut bacteria, it's so smart. Your gut is so smart. They literally say there's more neurons in your gut than there is in your brain. So they're starting to see this correlation between the gut and the brain, and how the gut really tells our body so much about, sends so many signals to our body about what to do. So anyway, the study said that antibiotics, one dose, destroys the gut biome by 100% in one dose, and it can take years to rebuild. So imagine that's why probiotics and reforestating after having that is so important to it. But it was just crazy. And the refined sugars, I can't remember which one it was. Oh, it's not, I think it was Splenda. Literally one packet of Splenda, and I'm going to need a double check on this, but can destroy the gut biome up to 50%.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
We'll have to look that. We'll post that.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up.
But in the idea is that artificial sweeteners are really a big trigger for digestive issues. It looks like it's just this fine powdery substance, but it clogs up and sticks on the intestinal lining. And we're supposed to have these feelers, these little hair-like structure on the inside that kind of propel the nutrients through our intestinal walls. And what happens is they stick, and then all those hairs get stuck all together, and then we have this layer of munge that sits against our intestinal wall. That intestinal wall gets eaten away through time from the munge, and then we get this separation in our tissue, and they call that leaky gut syndrome. But the bigger particles of food and debris that have not been broke down to the right levels get seeped through our intestinal walls, and then our body starts identifying them as unknown substance, just like they would see a cancer cell, and they start reacting and overreacting and setting off our autoimmune system. But we have to stay on course, because we promised you guys we're going to try to stick with 7 minutes here. So let's talk about what they can do at home to restore your gut bacteria and to decrease your bloat as soon as possible. So one of my favorite ones through all the years has been a bone broth. Bone broth is really popular now, but in my day it's been around for eons. And
my grandparents used to make it in big pots.
Yes, and yes. And the stuff that's on the shelf is not live enough to restore your gut bacteria. And another thing, it's fabulous beauty aid. It is like one of the best beauty aids that I can think of on the market. So
there's so many minerals and nutrients in it.
Yeah, and collagen. Collagen. Okay, so what are some of the other things we can tell them to do at home?
Green juices.
So
greens in general, right? Just filling your body with a lot of antioxidants.
Green juice, green powders, yes.
Water.
For
sure.
Half your body weight in ounces of water every day. Probiotics. You can take probiotic. I'll send you a link. And then you can also do some bone broth probiotics. You can do digestive enzymes. You can eat like water packed vegetables like cucumbers and fennel, really good for those.
Oh, and you were going to tell us about charcoal.
Oh, charcoal. So charcoal's a really good absorber. And so you can take charcoal capsules. I like to take the ones from Bulletproof that actually have the coconut oil with them, so I don't dehydrate my system. But they can absorb that bloat and take away bloating almost instantaneous, like within an hour.
So do you take it before you eat something that you know causes bloat?
Well, yes, you could. But say you just have bloat, like today you have bloat, I'm just going to take my charcoal capsules.
Got it.
And so like if you go to any cleansing centers where they do like colon hydrotherapy, that's another thing we should touch on. Colon hydrotherapy and juicing or broths, they tend to give their clients charcoal in order to absorb the gas when they're having a bad die-off of candida or just an unknown cause of bloating as their body is disrupted.
And so where do you get the charcoal?
You can get it at Amazon.com, of course, everything. And then any of your natural food markets like Whole Foods or Jimbo's is what we have here in our local city.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll post I'll find the link and we'll post it. Because I'm going to try that for sure. I haven't tried that yet.
And some of the other things, here, let me look. Oh, fermented vegetables like raw sauerkraut. Great one. A nice one to take like a tablespoon before each meal will also help you with overall digestion. Raw dairy. People don't even think about raw dairy. So one of my clients, Melody, she told me about that cocoa yogurt, which is a living coconut-based live culture yogurt. And she said she gets bloat gone right away and also has exceptionally good bowel movements after she takes it.
Speaking of bowel movements, so hydrotherapy, colon hydrotherapy, which nobody talks about a lot, but it's like one of my favorite things ever to help just release whatever your body's storing. And it can just get backed up in there. And so being able to go and have that I guess the best way to say it is released, is a way that can really help with bloat and just overall heaviness. You like walk out of there feeling like you're floating. You feel so light.
Yeah, sometimes you can have like a really concave stomach. It's wonderful. But you know what I've learned from one of the colon hydrotherapists, and we'll post Longevity Lounge is who we use over in Pacific Beach. Rachel there is amazing. But what we learned is that through 3 weeks of detoxification on water, so a water cleanse, she was still pulling tons and tons and tons out of their intestinal tract in a colonic session. I mean, after 3 weeks of no food.
That's crazy.
It's
and
amazing.
Think about, though, if we were talking about how much our colon has to do with our gut health and everything, if there's a backup of toxins and waste, basically, then that's still sitting in our body, and we're still feeling those effects of the...
It's getting reabsorbed is the horrific thought.
So being able to release that helps with everything from how you feel, your energy levels, and just overall detoxing and cleansing the body.
Okay, we got to go almost soon because we've run over time. But the idea is that there are home remedies. There's also pay attention to the foods that bother you. Don't take them in. It could be as simple as broccoli or onions. Listen to your body. For me. And so that's it. It's Hot Talk with Tamara and Kenda.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Yes.
Bye.